Yeah, so you have some random holes here. And if you look at this, it's very random. Like human nature, we tend to be very organized. If let's say I were to have, say, 2,000 caves, 10,000 niches, 100,000 niches for Buddha, I will probably organize better than this. It looks very random.
Well, Bernie, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, especially the first two caves that you showed us pictures of, do you think this is a clue or evidence that we're sharing this planet with another advanced species that maybe lives in Earth's crust, and that they may have abandoned those sites just before they were discovered and gone deeper into the Earth's crust?
Yeah. I mean, I found out that when I joined the alien group thing, I found out that they're among us today. And I wouldn't be surprised they're among us 500 years ago, 5,000 years ago. So there's possibility.
Yeah.
So,
okay, well, let's hear from other people, some questions that come up for you.
Do you have?
Well, I'm just...
I don't know, I can't see from here.
Okay, I can't tell.
I have a hypothesis, if I may.
Yes, please go ahead.
Several places that I've visited also have something similar to those niches, but they were done by families who have lost loved ones, and they are in random places because of the culture or the political mayhem at the time. So I'm wondering if that isn't a possibility for those, or some of them at least. And then my other thought is, as far as the caves themselves, I noticed that you put pictures of the waterways there. I'm wondering if they were all connected to some kind of underground waterway, or because several of the sites that were in like Guatemala and different areas that I've actually been through were connected with waterways, and it seemed like they were very similar to things like that. So I'm just curious if you had any thoughts on that. And the third thing that I have to say, and then I'll let somebody else ask questions, is I believe that potentially your timeline or the Chinese timeline could be off, because it does, like you said, it doesn't make any sense. And the places that I visited in near Winnemucca Lake also has some ancient artifacts, and it's probably 5,000 to 15,000 years old. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Welcome. So for the waterways, I think you're referring to the Huashan and Longyou. These places are probably submerged at one time, so they're just taking out the water. So I probably think that they were not meant for water anyway. It's just like say, remember, if you know, there's a underground city in Derinkuyu. So if it is at one time submerged, you think it's some waterway, but it wasn't. So it's just tunnel linking from one city to another underground city. So I'm not sure, as far as I can read. So far the waterway,
the stalagmites and the stalactites, were there any measurements on any of those?
They said it's about 500 years old, based on that study.
Okay, I'm talking about physical measurements of the actual.
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you.
So, and the other one is the timeline. I'm not sure which one you're saying is off. can you clarify, like, what timeline are you referring to?
I'm referring to the one that actually shows the timeline of Jesus and the wall, and that you nicely put out for us to see.
Okay, there's another graph, another slide. Okay.
Right, it's back a little ways.
Yeah.
And that was just my thought when you were talking through that, and I didn't want to interrupt you at the time.
Okay, so what timeline are you referring to, which is off?
The one with Iggy at the end, 2000.
Correct.
Okay. So that, year 2000 is just, I put there for my son was born at that time.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
So Kathleen, are you saying that they're much older?
I'm saying that they have the potential of being quite a bit older.
Yeah.
And that's again why we're stumbling over why is this made like this? Why are these things here? It is so far from what we know as reality
Yeah.
that it's just difficult for us to even understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
The timeline is from the mainstream. That's what they say. Like the pyramid is 4,600 years ago. I think it's like 10,000 years ago.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the pyramids, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Those are even older than we.
Yeah.
That one is just the mainstream. I just plot, and even the mainstream doesn't make sense. That's my point.
Right. Very good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, like Gobekli Tepe,
Yeah.
10,500. It was in 10,500. So
Yeah.
that makes it about 13,000 years old. And they were always telling us that our civilization is only 5,000 years old. But now they're finding things. And also, I don't know if you researched at all the pyramids in Bosnia. The
Yeah.
pyramids in Bosnia are 12,000 years old.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that this stuff has been lied about, like so much, right?
Yeah.
That
I
it's much older.
yeah, I have a feeling that many things have been going on 10,000 years ago. And then we came along and make use of the caves and stuff like that. So there's just one more point here, I think, left. If you look at these striations here, at one look, oh, sorry, not yet, further down. So anyway, this one, I just find that these niches here, they're very similar to the one in Middle East. Those in the Middle East, Petra, Jordan. I'll show you the comparison later. And then if you look at this, I just happened to get this picture and I noticed there's something going on the side. I thought it's like a sedimentary rock stacking on each other and get pushed up by a volcanic force.
That definitely looks like a machine, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
yeah,
when you look at it closely, okay, these are all cut. It's like physically cut. It's not it's a machine tool mark. Okay, if this is natural, you can literally peel off layer by layer, right? That's natural sedimentary rock. But if you look at this one here, you look at this one here, it's all machine cut going from one side. It's like a giant claw excavator thing. So something must have done the big job, and then the rest can come in and do the smaller job. So it's like you put on the foundation, and then you do the main frame, and then everything else is easy.
mm-hmm.
So one thing that I noticed, you don't forget, when we do something like this, and we plan to use it on a regular basis, we normally don't forget about the stairs. No? If you want to imagine without stairs, and then you were to do this guy here, let's say, okay, you have to have scaffolding here for a few weeks or few days to do this guy, and then what? You took away the scaffolding, then how you get to here to worship or make use of it? And then only we came in and put all these modern stairs. On a regular basis, if you want to use, let's say, even this particular cave, let's say, if you want to use this because there's a Buddha statue that you carved and you're going to come back regularly, you got to have a stairs, some way you can come back and use, you know.
And they found no stairways inside?
No, there's nothing.
Not inside, okay.
Not inside, outside. These are all modern for tourists. You look at this guy here, for example. You know, if I want to make use of that, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So what do you assume these holes are for?
We really don't know. It comes in big and small and random all over.
Because I've seen some in China, and these were burial holes.
Yeah.
And some are on a steep wall, and you wonder how in the hell you get there. They must have been hanging on the rope from the top.
Yeah.
To dig out those holes.
Yeah.
And you have similar ones in Peru also.
Yeah. Different culture will use it for different purpose. If somebody started putting some dead bodies, then they'll call it a burial ground or for burial purpose. If somebody put a Buddha statue and people just kept doing it, then it became a temple or some grottos. So the same structure, it can be a burial area, can be a worship area. Yeah, you have that in Japan also. They use it to live there. So then it becomes a dwelling place. There's another purpose. This cave can be for dwelling.
But no bones have ever been found.
No.
Yeah.
No, not that I read it anywhere.
Or maybe the crows took them already.
Yeah.
Can you go back to this big Buddha thing?
Is that?
It's
One
so
more.
beautiful.
One more. Yes.
Oh. What?
No. 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 No, you have to go back.
Back?
No, too far.
Mhm.
Where this big Buddha thing is. There, you hold it. The guy with that long stick.
Yeah.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
Because yesterday I saw a show on TV, and they showed several similar statues, also with a stick like this.
Oh.
You know, I forget now whether that was in Africa or South America, but they thought it was a tool to determine whether there is gold down in the earth. I mean.
Yeah. I came across something like that. One of my research. There's something going on with 2 hands and a stick.
Right. Yeah.
Dosing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a dosing for gold.
It seems like there's like they're doing something to find something underground or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
So mysterious.
They also mentioned it goes beyond the feet, actually. It's almost like it's stuck in the ground, right?
Yeah. There's some similarity on this in other cultures and other statues.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it's just a common pose.
Well,
but something that's going on, I think.
It's somewhat similar to this handbag that There's some
Yeah, the handbag thing.
that you seem to be carrying, right?
Yeah, it's also the handbag all over the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That seems to be biological, though. That seems to be connected to genetics, mostly.
Oh,
Which,
The little bag, the little purse thing that they carry, that seems to be a symbol of some kind of genetic.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what
I
most.
thought they're just carrying their powder and lipstick in there.
I
Yeah,
see.
like they're, they're
I'm just kidding.
their doctor bag.
Do you think the caves could be mine sites where they've removed deposits of gold?
Possible some mining activity, but I'm more prone to think that it's for them to live there for a while. It's totally dark. It's very hard to work. So, but I don't know. Could be mining. Could be just a place to stay.
Well, Van Deniken has a similar question on the Nazca lines.
Yeah,
And there is a mountain that is totally flattened,
yeah.
but there is no debris anywhere.
Hey, Rolf, you don't have your camera on. We can't, for the recording, we can't see you.
You want to see me?
Of course.
All right,
We want to see your pretty face.
I got to flip up the camera thing. I don't know. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I have a question, Bernie. So you've been studying this a long time. So
Maybe a year or two.
okay, in your studies, have they gone inside and found tunnels and, could these have possibly been dwelling places for someone?
Yeah, I tend to believe that, like, say for example, this one here, this is for dwelling.
Yes.
Yeah. So at one time it's for dwelling, and if these aliens were to be the originators of the religion, probably the big Buddha is done by them also. I don't know. It's so big. It takes forever to make one.
But there's chambers inside, right? Where people who may not live the way that we do would have lived in chambers.
Yeah. I have a compilation on underground dwellings, so that will come under that chapter if you want. It's all like, it's not very human type of architecture. So I tend to believe that these are the alien stuff going on.
Let's make that a part 2, Bernie.
You want a part 2?
Come and show us a part 2
Bernie,
with the insights.
I have a question, Bernie.
Yeah.
The Buddhists still in China, people believe in Buddha.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said that still in part of China, people believe in Buddhists.
Yeah, there are a lot of Buddhists, but there are even more atheists.
Okay, before Buddhists, what religion they have?
They normally, like, what do you mean? Buddhist is just one religion, right?
I know.
Like
Before, I know Buddhists start from India, coming to the other nations like China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thai. But before Buddhists coming to China, the Chinese, what kind of the religion they have?
That'd be Mahayana. It's not Theravada. It's not what the Buddha taught. Like that Vairocana Buddha statue doesn't exist in the Buddhist teachings.
Yeah.
Mahayana.
Yeah. Before that, you'll be looking at like maybe Taoism,
yes.
of just being atheist.
Or shamanic. Old
a lot of shamanic tribes.
Yeah.
Well, and Taoism branched off into the branches that you could consider Buddhism to be one of them, and Hinduism also is Related to
It's
Buddhism.
quite a different origin.
Okay. But what they do with the dead body in the China before the Buddhists came?
More
Is it
ancestral.
put in the cave or?
I'm not sure about the cave because some people, if they like cave, they put in the cave maybe. But you have cave, you have ancestral worship where the bodies burn and then the ashes are kept in a vase, and there's kind of like rituals every day. You can pray for safety. So there's ancestral worship. We have all kinds.
Oh, okay.
Which part of China you're talking about?
Oh,
yeah. See, remember before China became one country, we are pretty much how to say? We are very different. You see, the north. Let's say the northeast, there'll be the Manchurian there. If you go to the northwest, there'll be the Xinjiang. There'll be more like the Muslim and the Buddhist there. And you look at the southern, there'll be more influence with the Cambodian side. So big. It's kind of, imagine if say Africa is one country, you have all kinds of let's say Africa is one country and all the countries are states. That is how China was at that time, and it's just being combined into one country like 2,000 years ago. So we are very different.
But they estimated the age of these, for example, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, or they didn't have an estimated for that?
No, very hard to estimate this. It's kind of still a mystery as far as how long it is. But for the mainstream, they're kind of fixed. It's like, this is it, you know. You got a mural picture there, you have a statue there. So that's roughly done by them, and therefore is how old it is. They never really question like, where are the rubbles? Why are these 2 marks still around? How to make this, you know?
But is it possible the people living in these kind of like a house for them on that time?
A house?
You know, the building the house in this form.
No. This is definitely not Chinese architecture. Like,
okay.
if you want, as a Chinese, if you want this as a house, it's so much easier to just chop a tree down, make a wooden house. It's like so much easier.
Because in Iran, we have something like that, and people still living there.
Yeah, I know. If it is there, if you want to live, why not? If you look at Petra, those holes are turned into hotel rooms. They charge you.
Yeah, this is like a room, yes.
Yeah, you go to Little Petra, it's now a room, hotel room. If you go to Cappadocia, they still make use of those places as a place that they live right now for generations. So I don't know how they get their address, how to send them a mail. Maybe they have to have a 3D dimension to get to them. So anyway, I just want to highlight to you this part here. You see, this is a carving. This is a tumor carved out. So it's not something that you can peel off layer by layer as a sedimentary rock. These are all carved tool marks, residue of a tool mark. So it's kind of difficult to see. Let's say I make this guy, little Buddha here. I would definitely want to come back on a regular basis and use it. But how? It's very, very far off. So it's like I carve one time and then that's it, leave it there. So anyway.
Okay, are there any more questions for Bernie?
Yeah, it's amazing the scaffolding you may have to make a long angular cut like that.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
It almost makes no sense either.
yeah. No, I can show you this. There's a big thing going on. A big machine that can carve this thing. Hold on. I just show you this one. One is in Turkey, Cappadocia. Very random, almost similar thing. This is where they live. So just to show you, this was destroyed by earthquake. And I will show you that one later. Just 1 second. This one is just to show you, if you ever go there, make sure you stay over at night. It's very nice. It's a very nice tourist area now. So make sure you stay overnight. These are just the pictures that I gather, and I just want to show you like this. These are the striations originally there, and then we came along, we carved all this. The cave is already there, so we get the credit for doing that. Cave of 10,000 Buddha. So human beings got the credit, but somebody did the carving, the striations here. Somebody did the cave, not us. So I just want to go through quickly. This is the 10,000 cave. So they have North Cave, North Binyang Cave, Middle Binyang Cave, South Binyang Cave. So this whole, there's a Lianhua Cave. And you have all these random, okay, random 2 marks. So I just wonder what is that for. If you look at the Petra Jordan, Longmen, this is where we are. In Italy, we have that. They say this is for the pigeons because at one time the Italians actually use it to put the pigeons here, the red pigeons. And then in Israel also they say for the pigeon, but it doesn't make sense because it's at an angle. If the pigeon were to lay an egg, it will fall off. So, but I don't know why they call it the pigeon. So, yeah. So back to your question. I'll just go very quickly, just to. You're talking about. Hold on. If I can find it somewhere here. Lalibela. Yeah, Lalibela is one great. Okay. This one is a lot of like. This one is. I just want to show you this one since you mentioned about that. Very quickly. I can recognize the picture. This one. Okay. So you see, it's somewhere that cut like the butter straight down, and there's like huge machine that scrape down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that as a machine here that goes straight down. It's big, like a giant excavator thing. So you are talking about that one. The striation on the side, the same thing. I probably think it's the same tool they use on the side for the Longmen. So this is in Ethiopia. So I hope that answers your question.
So there's a mysterious technology that we don't know about.
Yeah.
There's signs of it all over the planet.
Yeah. This Lalibela in Ethiopia is huge, but nobody knows. So anyway, that concludes my presentation. I overshot by 45 minutes.
Well, thank you so much, Bernie. Well, we look forward to another presentation from you after about the underground dwellings in the future.
Sounds good.
Or whatever.
Definitely. Let's do a part 2.
Or part 2, yeah.
Yeah, fill me in whenever you have empty slot. It's okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.